Perry's facing a 9-figure lawsuit surrounding allegations.
I think in the sense of you think it's going to go one way or to be something else.
Tyler Galila Becklet, Perry's baby mama, is making headlines again, but not for a blockbuster this time. After years of silence, it goes far beyond ordinary internet rumors. Jalila hinted at more than a quiet breakup. There are accusations of harassment, manipulation, and secret identities, as well as leaked texts, whispers of inappropriate behavior with male actors, and quiet departures from Perry's inner circle. What appeared to be a friendly split may have been Jalila avoiding a more serious scandal now that there are alleged receipts in circulation and legal threats looming. As you are all likely aware, Perry's carefully manicured persona could come crashing down in a flash. Their relationship was always low-key. They hardly ever made public appearances together and never announced their engagement or marriage. A few years later, Perry wrote on Instagram, "I'm 51 and single and wondering what the next chapter in my life will look like." That was it. Galila was not mentioned or explained. Although it was officially hinted that the parting was amicable and free of animosity, the internet didn't believe it. Many others questioned the abrupt silence. Perry had established his reputation for being emotionally open in his movies, but he withheld information about his personal life that would have caused people to take notice. For years, there had been whispers that infuriated.
Tyler Perry was furious over this.
Some said he maintained a long-term relationship with Jalila as a calculated step to put an end to the rumors and project a family image to safeguard his reputation. High-profile males who frequently associate with a single lady evade online scrutiny of their personal lives. People said it clearly, and the relationship appeared to be a front. Perry and Jalila never responded to these accusations, but their silence didn't put an end to the rumors. On the contrary, it simply served to feed them. A former member wrote, "He's still acting like he likes women. I guess he's going to come out like the brat did." People's perceptions of Perry's breakup changed when the Dixon lawsuit surfaced, accusing him of misconduct and exposing private conversations. Delilah's departure no longer appeared to be amicable, rather, it appeared planned, as if she had anticipated the situation and left before it became public. However, the shocking part isn't just the accusations, it's the details. Dixon was allegedly approached by Perry under the pretense of providing him with acting chances, but things quickly descended into unwanted late-night texts, provocative messages, and even physical contact. "I would fry you, and I haven't been touched in months," is one of the texts that have gone viral. The rumors that Perry is being closed off are suddenly more than just rumors. They are accompanied by names, dates, screenshots, and sworn statements. This is where Galila resurfaces. If the claims are accurate, her breakup with Perry begins to appear anything but coincidental. Perhaps Dixon's statements merely validated what she had observed behind closed doors, and she had long sensed something wasn't right. Rumor has it that Jalila was aware of Perry's secret life, but chose to remain silent in order to preserve their son's reputation and possibly even Perry's business. When the lawsuit was announced, people started to wonder, is this why Jalila really left? Because Perry remained silent and didn't speak up for him or defend him when she posted that cryptic message about being single, it feels to many that she was putting distance between herself and a storm that she had predicted years ago. Now, the very thing that had been murmured in the shadows on the internet is being brought to light, and it all culminates with this lawsuit. In the court documents, Dixon lays out a timeline that is genuinely difficult to ignore. He claims that he met Perry at an event in 2019 after Perry noticed him, asked for his number, and gave him hints about future roles. Sure enough, Dixon got the job, and things were going well until, according to Dixon, they weren't. About a year later, Perry allegedly invited Dixon to his Atlanta home, where he claimed to have crashed in a guest room after too much drinking and woke up to Perry touching his thighs. Dixon says he shut it down, but things felt strange after that point. Dixon claims that Perry continued to contact him, this time with threatening texts, some of which have gone viral online. One of them states bluntly, "No straight man would be going on walks with you or cooking dinner for you unless they wanted to, I would you." And when their other asked him what it would take for him to have a guilt-free life, Dixon added that the role Perry gave him in the series, a gay homeless man who trades for a place to stay, wasn't just a role. He says it reflected exactly what Perry wanted from him in real life. Dixon claims that Perry even told him that he needed someone who was devoted, submissive, and completely dependent on him. At that point, Dixon claims he felt trapped, not wanting to lose his job but also not feeling safe. He tried to set boundaries, telling Perry he wasn't the type, but the messages continued, and then the moment that caused everything to blow up in his face 2020, "Do you like it rough in bed?" Dixon claims he questioned Perry when he visited him again. Perry then allegedly grabbed Dixon by the throat and said, "Look how excited you just got." Dixon claims that after pushing him away, he fled, but things didn't stop there. One night, according to Dixon, Perry entered his guest room wearing only his underwear, pulled down his shorts, and whispered, "Relax," so he simply let it happen. Fast forward to 2024, when Dixon formally filed a complaint with the EEOC, quit the show, and dropped the lawsuit. Dixon's attorney quickly clapped back, calling it a shakedown and claiming that Dixon was manipulating the situation with remarks, "This is an individual who got close to Tyler Perry for what now appears to be nothing more than setting up a scam." However, Perry remained utterly silent, which is particularly loud for those who think Jalila anticipated this storm long before the rest of us did and dipped out before it struck. If Dixon's story had broken Perry's polished facade, it might have validated something Jalila already knew and endured in silence. According to people close to both of them, Jalila had worries long before the public realized. She allegedly observed trends such as late-night meetings, excessively intimate connections with male employees, and a growing emotional detachment. Some people think she was already uncomfortable with Perry's evasive actions, but she didn't decide she was done until allegations of an inappropriate connection began to circulate. Others speculate that the texts that were revealed in Dixon's case may have been the tipping point. Speculation is that Jalila either saw or heard about messages Perry had sent to other men, messages that crossed professional boundaries that combined with the stress of keeping up a false public image, may have pushed her away. While Jalila hasn't released a public statement, gossip blogs claim she's been quietly supportive of the legal process behind the scenes. She hasn't defended Perry. She hasn't tried to clean up the mess, and that silence says it all. Insiders also note that since leaving Perry, Jalila has allegedly distanced herself from the network, entirely focusing on her activism, modeling, and private life with her son. Maybe she left before the media storm hit because she saw it building. Or she simply got bored of pretending. Either way, what was once called an amicable split now looks like an escape, and if the allegations in Dixon's lawsuit prove true, Jalila may be seen not just as an ex, but as the woman who got out just in time. When the lawsuit hit the internet, screenshots, hot documents, and alleged texts were being shared faster than they could be verified, and like clockwork, social media users split into camps. Those ready to cancel some people were astonished by Tyler Perry's actions, while others claimed to have anticipated them. One person tweeted, "I had no idea Tyler Perry is gay." Another response was, "Y'all all been acting like this news. He's very fruity." The only surprise is that it's finally in court. Not everyone agreed with the accusations. Some thought the messages sounded flirtatious rather than criminal. One commenter wrote, "Seems like flirting and boring conversation." But people are so easily swayed they'll believe any narrative put out about a black man. The claims provoked a deeper debate among LGBTQ+ community members. Were Perry's struggles with his own identity, or was this just another high-profile takedown attempt driven by fame and money? Someone else pointed out, "These texts sound like an older guy trying to help a closeted younger dude. He told him not to do work. He sounds fruity but not predatory." Others, on the other hand, were adamantly in favor of Dixon, believing that Perry was Derek Dixon based on the text messages. One user wrote, "Then, there was backlash against Dixon, with some people believing that the timing was suspicious and that the text's purported intimacy led them to want more. I don't see any explicit texts in these screenshots, not even a direct text, so Derek Dixon is lying, but even so, one cannot ignore the patterns, the casting, the texts, and the character is designed to reflect Dixon's vulnerability to them in real life. Wasn't an isolated incident, it was specifically targeted and caught in the crossfire." Jalilah's separation from Perry may have been a shameful or well-thought-out move, but one thing is certain, the internet isn't letting this go, regardless of whether people think Dixon is real or not. Tyler's silence only serves to increase the volume of opinions at this point, with his name at the center of it all. In any case, this story isn't over. Hit the bell and subscribe because what comes next could completely change everything.